Hey YouTube world, yours truly, Kieron the Barber, back with another video. What is going on everyone? It has been a long week and I'm trying to get them videos out now. Today we're doing Psy and I'm trying something a little bit different just with the camera angles. I've gone from switching from a monopod to, a tripod to a monopod. I'm just seeing how that works. The angles to me look so much better, so much clearer. You can kind of see everything I'm doing. So starting off with my AndisUK outliners, I'm making that line in there. The reason I'm making that line is because I'm just removing all that bulk, getting rid of that and making that line nice and straight, then coming in with my foil shavers, just clearing the rest of that hair, go up, down, left and right. Just not pushing too hard. You don't need to push hard with the foil shavers. They do the job themselves. And then coming in with a 2. And what I'm doing is I'm just removing all the bulk off of that number 2, just so before I do the clipper over comb work, I know I've got a little piece of hair where I know I can work on to fade. I think if you fade into just hair that you haven't already trimmed down to either a 2, a 2.5 or 1.5, it becomes near impossible. I find it really hard to fade into something that isn't kind of already one flat, one level. So that's why I always start on a 2.5, a 2 or a 1.5 usually. Very rarely that I'll do a 3. So then I work my way down from 2 to a 1.5 to a 1 to a half guard, and then from a half guard I'll use my open and closed clipper just to make sure it's doing its job. I always find sides hair quite hard to cut. It's one of these hairs what has really dark patches, and then you'll be fading around it and all of a sudden there'll just be a real light patch. His head isn't kind of, the head shape is very different from kind of a normal head shape. It dips in on the corner around the back. So what I tend to do is I tend to just keep fading and fading, going back up onto a 1, into a 1.5, and then back down into a 0.5, just making sure that them shadows are completely out. It takes a little bit more time than usual, but I would rather take an extra 10, 15, 20 minutes, half an hour on someone and they come back to the shop than just to get them out of my shop because I'm struggling. So I don't mind ever going back to a grade or back to a guard. Clipper over comb, I'm using my pink Andis comb. I love my pink Andis comb in a minute. And I'm just coming up and at a 90-degree angle because Psy likes his hair nice and heavy, so we leave it heavy and then pushed over. So I don't want to take that over and push that into the hairline too much, so that's why I come up at a 90-degree angle, so it gives it kind of almost like a step, and then we keep that step so his hair can then flow over that and it doesn't look like there's just a chunk missing. So then using my AndisUK outliners, just make sure them edges are nice and trimmed. Coming then starting on from the back. I did have a little bit more of this back bit, but I didn't realize, you can see my camera once it's trying to focus in and out of focus, I forgot to turn off autofocus. The only time I did it in this video, and I was really trying not to go in and out of focus. So yeah, my camera goes in and out of focus just on this part, and then I realize it very quickly and I'm like, oh no, why did I do that? So a Richmond comes into shot just before this, and then you see a Richmond when it really blurs the haircut, and I didn't want that, so I just skipped that part. So yeah, again, full shavers. Take your time with them. Sometimes when full shavers get a little bit older, as you guys will know from experienced barbers who are watching this video, they don't cut as well as the first day, which is fine. They just, you just need to just go over and over with them, which is no problem at all. And then going from my 1.5, as you can see, I've already taken that bulk around with the 2. So I'll start with my 1 open or 1.5, and then I'll go down to my 1 closed, and then I'll use my half guard open and my half guard closed. Yeah, and then we just keep forming that haircut, just keep putting into place, getting into the right shape that we want. Rome wasn't built in a day, so it's one of them things where a haircut, it might take an hour, it might take you guys half an hour, depending on, one, how good you are, two, probably how long you've been doing it and how confident you are, three, if the client is a regular and you're used to their hair already, or if it's a new customer, it might take a lot longer because you're not sure the head shape, the hair growth, and etc, etc. But never ever rush. If you feel like you need to, just take your time. That's one of my big things, is that I find a lot of barbers just try and get in and out and they don't take their time anymore. So yeah, I'm here to kind of teach you guys, take your time. And while we're here talking about time, take your time out of this video to go down and click the like button. I kind of jokingly asked last time for like 10-14 likes, but I've kind of worked out the analytics of YouTube now, and if this video gets like between like 100 to 500 likes, then it automatically shifts up, more people watch it, and essentially it gives me more of a boost to make more videos. So guys, if you're liking my videos, just don't be scared to give that thumbs up. I really appreciate the thumbs up. Trust me, it goes a long way, especially because the YouTube analytics nowadays and how that works out. So if you could just go down and just give that quick thumbs up, I'd really appreciate that. And if you don't subscribe already and you're halfway through this video already, give it a quick sub, give it a quick subscribe. That'd be fantastic. So yeah, as I've just been blabbing on, you can see that I'm coming into the last little bits of this before I do my clipper over comb. I'm just working out the finer details, just going in with my 0 to my half, just to take out them last little shadows. And now I'm going to go clipper over comb, not taking off this crown, coming up at a 90-degree angle. Even though this is quite a high fade, we're still taking that up at a 90-degree angle. Still trying to keep as much of that crown as we possibly can, because Sai likes it nice and long and nice and heavy on top, so we want to keep it as long as we can, for as long as possible really. So that's why we're trying to keep that crown bit at the back nice and heavy, nice and dense, with there still being a fade there. So that's what we're trying to do right now, is just come up at a 90-degree angle very slowly. I'm not taking, as you can see, I'm not taking out big chunks, I'm taking off the tiniest bits, because what I don't want to do is I don't want to make a mistake where I take off a big bit and then I have to go around the other side and take off another big bit, and then I have to go around the other side and take off another bit. We don't want to do that. So what I want to do is I want to take off little by little and slowly see it start forming a shape and shaping into place. That's what we want to do. It's actually quite nice, like learning how to, I watched the Chris Bossio video on how to film a haircut, and I reckon I did 90% of the stuff. There's a few things that I didn't do, which actually helped me quite a bit, and it was like more with the camera angles and the lighting, etc. I'm editing on a new piece of software. I've got my Final Cut Pro, so I'm editing on my Mac right now, which is really cool. I honestly don't know how this video is going to come out at all, because this is the first video I've ever rendered or ever made on a Mac, ever made on Final Cut Pro, so I don't know if this is going to come out great or come out bad, but we are going to find out nonetheless. Guys, I just enjoy making videos for you guys, to be honest. I get a few people a week, and I get some nice messages saying, your videos really help me out, and that means a lot, man. That more than anything. If I get one of them a year saying that someone's done barbering because they've been watching my videos, and that's perfect. I want you guys to learn something from this video. Critique me if possible. Critique me. I can't even say that word. Critique me if you can. That would help out in the comments down below as well. Just tell me if there's something that I'm doing wrong that you think would benefit me in either the way I cut hair or the way I film. That would absolutely help me loads as well. So yeah, I'd appreciate that. So onto the bottom of the beard now. Now I take it a little bit higher from the corners and I come in and around the neck. It's it's called a chokehold beard, or it's called a choke beard. It's called what I would imagine is someone grabbing someone around the throat and then marking that line up there and then taking that, because I would say anything under that is keeping your neck warm. It doesn't look smart, it doesn't look tidy. And when you see that Sai, when he dips his head, it looks really smart, it looks nice, it looks clean. I will put some after images on afterwards, just so you guys know what this looks like. And I'm using the I can't even think what they're called, the FX clippers, just because they're nice and sharp. They give really good line outs. They give really good detail around the edges. And I'll just make sure for they're literally my clippers just for outlining, just to make sure them outlines look nice and sharp. That's all they're for, just to make sure everything's nice and sharp and in line. And then I'll come across with the Brawn full shavers, just because my Andis are strictly more for the head, as the Brawns go around that neck curvature quite well. So I'll get most of them with the Brawn, and then come and get the last little bits with the Andis, because the Andis actually clear the hair a lot easier, a lot better. And what I don't want to do is I don't want to use my Andis constantly and ruin them. So I'll use my Brawns to take out the main bulk, and then I'll finish with the Andis. Sai has the dreaded Widow's Peak, so we just take that last little bit off. And the video is featuring Jim. If you don't follow Jim on YouTube, he's the Barber Envy. Jim has started making videos as well, so make sure you go and give him a subscribe on his YouTube channel. That would help him loads. He's got 89 subscribers, and he wants to get 100 by the end of January, so he's got 7-8 days. It's currently January 23rd, I think. I'm gutted on this part, because this part I was like, yeah, the camera's set up nicely, and I don't know what happened. It must have dropped when I had a look, or Sai's hair was just a bit longer than I expected. And I really wanted to show my chip-in technique, but it looks like it's completely been cut off. Yeah, I'm gutted. I took about ½ an inch off just chipping into Sai's hair, because we didn't want to take too much off, because it's a as you say, it's a messy pomp. We don't pomp it up, we literally just chuck a load of powder in there and mess it about, and it looks really smart, to be fair. It looks really effective. I think everyone's got the pomp where they put the mousse in and then they blow dry it up and they make it look nice and smart. As Sai is kind of a relaxed, chilled guy, he just wants a bit of powder in his hair, and then just to mess it up and make it look kind of smart, but naturally look smart, and like hold it in place, make the texture stand out, and yeah, just make it look really nice. Yeah, there you go. See, there's a little bit of my chipping in skills. I got it. So then just a little bit of hair powder. I say a little bit of hair powder. That was a fair bit of hair powder, and I'm still putting more hair powder in. I'm not stopping yet. It's half a bottle of hair powder. But he's got quite thick hair, as you have to understand, so we have to use quite a lot to get right down to them roots. And then the tiniest bit of hairspray, and then we're just gonna just mess that up. And make it look textured, make it proper pop, make it proper stand out, and that's the final video. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, give me a sub. Please like the video. As I said, we're trying to get between like 100 to 500 likes on each video now at the minute currently, just so I can get my analytics up, I can get people to watch my videos, etc, etc. And if you're one of these guys who is supporting my channel, then thank you so much. And if you could just go down and give it a like, that would be absolutely perfect, just to get this video out a bit more. Yeah, so guys, thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate it. That's all I can say, is that I love you guys. You are awesome, and I shall see you in the next video, which I'm about to edit in a minute. So yeah, peace.